I was speaking at an event a few years ago, scratch that, a few weeks ago, when there was still such a thing as events, and I mentioned from the stage that I had been homeschooled. After I spoke, a lady came up to me and said she was homeschooling her kids. Amazing! Outstanding! Look how good I turned out. And then she said, this beautiful homeschool mom, she said, are you homeschooling your daughter? No, absolutely not. Do you think I'm crazy? One of us would die. I've long known I'm not cut out to be a homeschool mom, which is why our current situation is, shall we say, ironic. This is what's happening around here. My husband works for an industrial soap company, and he's working from home, but he's on the phone literally all day trying to get soap to hospitals. He's kind of the definition of an essential worker. I, on the other hand, have a job wasting paint, which is not as essential as you might imagine. And I'm working from home, but now I have this adorable first grader who is with me all of the time and who is delighted to sit down with her reader and flashcards and be self-motivated to study all day. No. No, my friends. No. I tell her it's time to do school, and she literally falls on the floor crying. And then I fall on the floor crying. So, for those parents who are struggling with this new reality, I have a story for you. I was in public school until midway through third grade. Until middle of the week, Mrs. Krause's English class, my parents came to the school and they pulled me out and they said, we're homeschooling her. Back then, homeschooling wasn't really like a thing and there was no internet, so they got the books from school. The principal told my parents that they were making a big mistake and I would be back in a year, but I would have to be held back a grade. Nevertheless, they persisted. Homeschool for our family was fairly unstructured. We lived up in the woods in northern Minnesota. There was wood heat and horses and snow 9 months out of the year. My dad is an artist, a painter, so there's lots of art books and art materials around. Anyway, neither of my parents were super devoted to my education. So I got to do a lot of what I wanted most of the time. When I had been in school, I was a miserable test taker, especially the standardized tests. The teachers were always perplexed because they knew I was keeping up with the classroom material. I was a good reader. I was, normally intelligent. But when I took the standardized test, I'd kind of lose my brain and score in the lower percentiles. And back then, it was legally required for every kid, homeschooled or not, to take the yearly standardized test with a licensed teacher in a school. So a year after I got pulled out, I had to go back for 3 days of testing since, of course, my parents weren't licensed teachers. My mom, knowing that I wasn't a great test taker and furthermore had kind of a squishy year without a lot of structured academia, told me it didn't matter if I didn't perform well, that I could just do my best, but they wouldn't make me go back even if I did poorly. So I took those exams and I remember it being kind of weird, being back with my old classmates who thought I moved or something. And I did it the best I could. And then when the results came back, here's the thing. With no devoted academic structure and no preparation for the specific learning goals associated with the exam and the stressful situation of being back in the weird environment of my former class, I scored in the 99th percentile. And after that, I always did very well with standardized tests. The moral of the story is it's going to be fine. Do your best with your kids. Don't freak out. Don't feel obligated to meet all the learning objectives the school is sending you right now. Have fun. Let your kids have unstructured play. Keep them off the TV for at least some of the time, and it's going to be fine. Gigi, what are you doing? Okay, come here for a second. Watch out. Don't bump anything. No, you may not drive that scooter in here. You may not drive the scooter, but you can come here. Don't step on anything. Watch the cords. Watch the cords. Watch the cords. Okay, it's your chance to be in the video. Come here. Come here, little 7-year-old. Oh, okay, look at the camera. It's over there. Say hi. Well, it's where the screen is there. That's where the camera is. Yeah, hi, sweetie. Okay, now you gotta go upstairs. You gotta, please go upstairs. Don't kick anything. Gigi, please go upstairs.